All right, can you guys hear us now? Sorry about that. I was over here yapping, and I guess you guys couldn't hear anything we were saying, so that's okay. We actually were saying we were having some technical difficulties.
All right, sorry about that. I was over here yapping.
Awesome. So I'll start over. Welcome to the Crawford Connection.
We get a lot of things right, but not this. Man, this shit is kicking our ass.
You know what?
Yeesh. But we're going to get it, though. This is show number 5?
This is
4?
I think this is show number 4. So I said by show 10, we would kind of have everything figured out.
Oh,
so.
And I basically just got to put my spin on it. I've been leaving everything to her right now.
Oh, no, we're not.
So that's the reason we're having these technical difficulties. So, yeah, we're going to get it right.
We're not going to let that happen. But, yes, welcome to the Crawford Connection. I hope everyone had a great week. Happy Friday. And how was your week, honey?
My week was great, for the most part. Did a lot of delegating this week, which was kind of hard on my end. Projects are going. We got the new Flex space / Airbnb up,
which I'm super excited about.
Yep.
It's super sexy, trendy, and I'm amazed that we finished it in 2 days. So we have our systems down, and that's awesome. It looks great.
It was super awesome.
Yeah.
We went live about 2 a.m. and by the next morning we had $6,000 in bookings. I woke up to looking at the phone like, oh shoot. Yeah. So super amazing.
Yes. Great feeling to, execute a project and put it out there and people like it. So
they love it.
Excited about that. So today I was just saying, I guess you guys couldn't hear us. We were actually talking about fix and flip. So I know a lot of you guys.
Before that, I just got out the shower and my hair is wet. So I know my homeboys they're gonna call and they're gonna talk about what it is. So my wife wants to put it in a man bun like this.
I do.
Yeah, but
I like to match mine.
Yeah, to match yours. She was like, "Honey, wear it in a bun." So I said, "Nah, I'm gonna just."
Let that blonde flow, honey. Just sling it.
I could have put it in a little bun, but
just sling it.
Well, yeah, right now it's just all over my head. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm lucky to have it. Blessed. Because a lot of people I went to school with were rocking bald heads, and it's not by choice. No shade. All right, and what were we saying? Got a little sidetracked.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to see where our co-host Katie is. So if you guys watched before, you guys know Katie. Trying to figure out where she is in our live studio. But
I took a nap this evening as well.
No. It was a nap. You clunked out on me.
Yeah.
He left me with feeding the kids, giving them baths, and then he woke up like, "Oh, that was a good nap." I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure it was."
Yeah, that was a good nap. Woke up. I actually woke up and thought it was the next morning, and they were all in the bed now. But I woke up and hopped in the shower and said, "Okay, let's get this thing going." Last week I was super tired. One, I just got in a car accident, and in addition to trying to manage these projects and do what I have going on, I added going into the doctor office 3 times a week. So. What are you doing? Yeah. So, what are you doing?
Trying to get Katie in.
You can't minimize that? Or open another window?
Sure. Sorry about that.
See? I told you. I'm going to give her 1 more week to get together. 1 more week, and we'll get her. So, the square, so we researched that. So, I have to get a whole other camera. It's probably almost $4 or $5 grand, but it doesn't have a clean HDMI output, so I'll have to get another camera. I can't get rid of that. I'll focus. Give me 1 second. I can't see myself.
Sorry.
Oh, my bad. No shade.
What'd they say?
My bald head come in. Whoa. All right, what are you doing?
I'm trying to send a link to Katie because she can't get in.
All right, so what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're kind of going to talk about our first property, or no, was it our first property?
One of the first.
One of the first. We're going to talk about how we actually did that property without using any of our money. So I know people probably hear the commercials. Oh, your nails look nice. She went to get her nails done today.
You just noticed that?
Well, yeah, because you've been doing your thing and I've been doing my thing. So yeah, she just got her nails done today. Super glittery.
Thank you, honey.
Nice. Yeah.
Thanks for noticing.
Yeah. Kind of blinded me. I was sitting here talking and looked down and
bling. Was it the ring or the nails?
It was a ring. The ring caught my attention first, and then I saw the nails. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, and then at some point in time, we'll open it up. And you guys, if you want to ask questions about building, remodeling, what to look for, and things of that nature, throw your questions out there. I get a lot of emails a day. I get sometimes 5. I mean, get up to 10. Of people just asking questions about what I do, how I do it. So, which explains the Crawford Connect. So we can kind of answer those questions as well as talk about the Spa and other businesses that we do. Because if I had time to respond to emails all day, I wouldn't get anything done. Like, no lie. If I'm not getting it in emails, I get text messages. Looking for advice, looking at this, looking at that. In addition to like 11 projects I have going on, a wife, 7 kids.
All of that.
So, yeah.
So while we are searching, I'm going to just jump right in and kind of get it going. So I know a lot of people know you out there, but can you kind of tell us how you got started with contracting?
Oh, yes. So I started off with a landscape and design company, and that was like my first passion. It still is. I actually just had my garage cleaned up the last couple of days. I still have the landscaping material. I had all commercial equipment. So,
our whole garage is full of stuff.
Well, not really. Not anymore.
Well, not now, but.
Yeah, so I had a Toro 36 walk behind, and it hadn't been crunk in like 4 or 5 years. So my guys pulled it out. I get my guys to do everything. I call them to the house. They're clean windows. They're clean up my garage, whatever. So anyway, they cleaned up the garage. We did some spring cleaning before they came. So we pulled the lawnmower out and started it. And first crank, 4 years haven't been crunk. Well, no, longer than that. You see my landscaping. I stopped doing landscaping, and I'm sure she'll tell you how I did that. But it was a choice. So probably about 2015, 16 years. That been crunk up in 16 years.
Oh, wow.
One pull and that baby crunk up. So what was the question? I have adult ADD sometimes.
So the question was, how did you get started with contracting?
How I got
your
started.
Original, like what made you even, start doing it?
Well, I knew that was going to be the end result. So what I did was I started the landscape business, and it kind of took off. I had a lot of commercial accounts where the HOAs, commercial buildings, residential. But anyway, I linked up with this one investor, and a lot of you guys probably know that person, Peter Vexelman. Maybe I'll hop on here. I linked up with Peter Vexelman, and he had called me, and I think I did a landscape project at one of his investment properties or something. Anyway, men kind of clicked right off the bat, and he invited me to his house. And he was like, "Hey, man, do you do home remodeling?" And of course, I knew that was going to be my end goal. So of course, I said, "Oh yeah," and I figured it out later. So next thing I know, Peter started I jumped, and he gave me like 3 houses at once. And shit, I had to figure it out. YouTube, how to paint a wall, how to install a door, no, I'm joking. I never did the work. But basically I just hired people and built my team to do the work. And so that's how I actually took off. So the whole time I was blessed to work with a lot of investors, well-known investors and wholesalers that basically and stuff like that the whole time while my guys are working, I was taking notes and building relationships. So now I'm here.
Awesome. So Are you happy that you transitioned from landscaping to contracting?
Not at
Or
all.
You
Not
miss
at all.
landscapes?
No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. No, I do. Because like I said, this was my ultimate end goal was real estate. The only thing I miss about one of the main things I miss about landscaping, it was a great stress reliever. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to like I miss getting on that zero turn one I just told you. I have two.
You should hop on it tomorrow and
Well,
ride around the
tires
yard.
are flat. But yeah, so that was I used to have fun getting on that thing, just getting out there and just wide open, just pushing it, cutting grass. So yeah.
Grass. Awesome. So started the landscaping, got an opportunity to jump into the contracting, took that and never
And so
looked
and
back.
so basically what I would do is when I would go, my company was completely turnkey. So what I did was I included everything in the package. So once I got into remodeling and the building, I eventually got away from the landscaping and then start selling the services in the bundle. And I guess I forgot a couple other things. I had a moving company. I had a cleaning company.
Serial entrepreneur.
I had several companies, and it was just one of me. So it started to affect my health a little bit, and so I had to really make a decision and narrow these businesses down. But yeah, so real estate is where it's at.
Awesome. And what what has been your most challenging project to date?
Man, it is out of all projects. I don't know if it was her.
Me,
I
really get blamed for everything. I don't
know what gave us the brightest idea to buy a quadplex.
My fault.
And convert it over to a single family modern home. I don't know what gave us that idea, but that is the most challenging project to date in my career and probably any other contractor or builder, because once it's done, I'm going to appreciate it. I'll tell you that. Once it's done, I'm definitely going to appreciate it. But man, it's been super challenging from if you're in this industry with COVID, there has been serious delays from everything. Because this is a modern home, you have a lot of specialty items. And we even made it more specialty by putting 10-foot by 7 windows in the home.
Not
I mean,
my fault.
they're huge. They're huge.
Maybe my fault.
One window is like 12 by 10. I'm not talking 12 inches. I'm talking 12 feet by 10. But the thing is, once it's done, it's gonna be beautiful. So that's the most challenging, as well as we're using glue lamps. We couldn't even use glue lamps. If you don't know what that is, just Google it. Glue lamps was like specialty lumber. At the time when COVID hit, they said they didn't know when they were going to inspect glue lamps. So I'm like, damn, how are we going to finish this house? So we have literally it's been challenging from the time we've started. Windows, literally the windows took almost 6 months.
Yeah.
And the reason they took 6 months is because, again, these windows are huge. They're huge. They're like commercial size windows, like a building. And then on the flip side of that, I literally have to lie to my guys and tell them that this is not our property, so they won't come in and kill me on the price. So I say, hey, man, this is the bank. I can't even tell them that because they were like, first of all, are you doing this? Okay, we want our price. But anyway, so yeah, so that's the most challenging house.
I think in general, it was a big project to undertake, and then to have COVID hit threw another wrench into it. So I can definitely see why it's been very challenging.
Super challenging, but it's coming together though. It is definitely coming together, and once it's done, we're definitely going to appreciate it. It is definitely $1 million house over in Westview. Again, we purchased a quadplex and took the top off, the whole entire roof, took it off, and added an additional level, 2 rooftop decks, or is it 3? 3 rooftop decks. We added a 2-car garage. Who buys a quadplex and add a 2-car garage?
So it's humongous, to say the least.
Me and her. But
yeah, but it's going to be all worth it. So
yeah, so.
And I think if COVID, hadn't hit, it would have been a little easier too. So.
Right. So once it's all, let's not talk about lumber prices.
So let's talk about lumber prices.
All right, let's talk about it. It's costing me 2 to 3 times more to build a house today than pre-COVID. 2x4s, pressure treated wood. Lord have mercy. I don't even talk about anything pressure treated. There's 3 times as much. So the good thing about it, people are buying. Atlanta market is hot, so you can kind of absorb those costs. But it is costing more money to build a house and longer, depending on what you're doing. For what we like to do, modern builds and things that are different, it's taking a little longer for those items. But just a traditional home, it's still taking a little time to do those projects because of COVID and lead times and stuff like that. But yeah.
So let's talk about projects and kind of what is it that you look through at your initial walkthroughs to kind of tell if it's a good project, if it's something that you you wouldn't deal with. Are there any deal breakers when you do an initial walkthrough?
So
how do you do that?
So what I like to look at, I'm sure what my wife likes to look at too as well, because you're playing Katie. Where's Katie?
Katie says she can't get in. I'm not sure. I'm working on it.
Okay. So what my wife, what we like to look at, I like being the first one in the area to do what we're doing. I think that's our niche, and that's why we've been successful. So when you say what's your first thing you look at, I look around. I don't want to come in and there's other investors there. I'm not the one on the last of the no. I want to be the first one, and then everybody else comes in behind me, and that's generally how it's how it goes. Like there's a pocket that we're doing a project in. I'm not even going to talk about it, but it's modern. And but because of COVID, it's been some delays. But this project is going to really wake this little area up. I guarantee it. Guarantee you. So
for sure. So other than the area, if someone is kind of considering a project, they see a listing somewhere, they get to the property, do you feel like they absolutely need a contractor to do a walkthrough? Or are there things that, as an investor that you can look for that are like, okay, if you see this, run the other way? I know kind of how we feel about certain things, but what are those things?
First things first, understand your numbers. I go to meetings daily, weekly, where investors, most times they're probably less than 5 houses in, super excited to get the title as an investor, and they tend to ignore the numbers.
I'm listening. He has ADD. I literally can't do anything without him. Continue,
Man, I be watching her.
Continue.
I'm watching her. What are you doing? So yeah, numbers. That's number one. If you are a new investor, or you not even new, I mean, hell, I've seen investors that have been doing it for a while, and I've told them like they're hiring to do the project, and the whole entire time I'm like, dude, you about to lose your ass on this project. No, you're about to lose your ass on the project, and guess what happens? Towards the end of the project, they have to start cutting things out to try to at least break even. It's unfortunate, but bottom line is some investors, they don't know their numbers, and they buy too high. Like, I'm a builder and investor, and some of these homes there, and I have my own crews. I have multiple crews. I have over 20 crews, but some of these houses that these investors buy, I'm thinking like, you're about to make a mistake. And now with my experience now, if I'm called and I go to these properties, I don't even do those jobs because, again, reputation is everything, and I'm not gonna hop on this sinking ship with you because I do this because I love it, not because of the money. So.
Gotcha. So what is a good buffer? So, a lot of things are unforeseen. So you walk through a property, everything looks cool, and then, Jay goes in, he starts, taking down the drywall, and you find, like your last one, you find the whole house is eaten up. So what cushion do people need to make sure that they have in their numbers for unforeseen? Is there a set number you feel like, or you just want to make sure that your property potentially has a proper potential of X? What is that number for you?
For me, I have a number.
Well, for other people, what would you suggest?
Well, I would suggest have like a $10,000 contingency,
Mhm.
and when buying a property just for the unforeseen. She's talking about a project that where he mentioned like termites. So I never saw the property. So this investor called me. They have already purchased it, the whole nine, and literally the guy started demo day, and over 80% of the house had termite damage.
So the house was eaten up.
Oh my gosh! Like I don't even know how it was standing. I mean, it was bad to the point where I'm getting chills thinking about it. To know these little things ate wood the way, I mean, literally
Ate their whole house.
I mean,
up.
they ate the entire house up. Now, mind you, when the sheetrock was up, I can't think it's a cool house, but when I took that sheetrock down, I mean, it was terrible. But yeah, so
Is there anything that investor could have done to know that, or you just don't know until you take it down?
let me fix this camera. I think it went out. Let's see. Did I fix it? No. Oh, there it is.
There we go. Sorry, guys. Camera needs a break after 30 minutes.
Yeah. I would say maybe get an inspector or one. If you're going to be in this for a while, build a relationship with a contractor, so they can go in and kind of look at these properties for you.
So could that person have like taken down a piece of drywall and saw that, or it's literally like unforeseen, like there's nothing really they could have
Because
done?
the market is so hot right now, investors are buying, and it's been this way for a while.
Sight unseen.
They're buying these properties sight unseen. They think the numbers work. They're buying them. Really no due diligence in an investor buy a property. There's really no due diligence. Say, hey, give me. I remember when I first got into this industry back in zip code 30032, where people was having like 5 days due diligence, and now, yeah, like people are just buying these homes as soon as it's posted, they buy it. They just buy it. But yeah,
And a lot of times it works out for them. So,
I don't, by the
sometimes it
grace of God
doesn't.
or whoever you worship, but yeah, put your faith in. But I guess it works for them. Who knows? But
What's another major thing that you feel like people need to kind of look out for when they are looking at these investment properties?
wholesalers.
Wholesalers. Another-
I'm just
we love wholesalers.
No. Certain
Not the crooked
wholesalers.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certain wholesalers. Like I said, I've been in this game for a while, and I pretty much have worked with most of these wholesalers that's out here, or I've seen their properties. I know one particular wholesaler is a piece of shit. No, he is. And people that know me know who I'm talking about. I never put his name out there, but I had a client that hired me after she purchased the house. And I may even give details, and you can probably know, you may have bought a house from him. And these, anyway, he literally staged the house like the house had plumbing and others, and it was a complete. This lady retirement was drained. And I know who this wholesaler. He knows me, and he always stay away from me. But I know he's a piece of shit. He comes across as a guru. That's why you'll never see me on. I'm getting sidetracked again.
That's okay.
But I'm gonna keep going. This is why you don't see me in these cliques. This is why you don't see me in these little panel meetings. And my wife know why. She used to say, "Babe, you should do it." I know who these people are, and I don't want my name associated with them, because a lot of it is just clout chasing, and they're saying they're doing this, and they're saying, but they're really not. So yeah, some wholesalers they're terrible. They're terrible.
So you like your work to speak for itself.
Of course.
We talk about that often. A lot of times you'll see these, contractors post their project, but you never see like the end result.
Never see the end result.
So, as an investor or a realtor or whoever's watching, you always want to make sure that whoever you're hiring, you actually see the ending of the project. So not just they have all these projects, but like, let me see a complete project.
And make sure it's their work.
Yeah. A lot of people don't use their own pictures.
Because I know people that steal pictures that are contractors, and they put it online.
And we know how to do a reverse search.
And you can just do it. Well,
I'm just
you go to these websites, or some of them have got so bold, they're posting their work on Facebook and say, "This is my project," and I'm like, "Dude, no, it's this." So I've seen a couple people do that before, and they've lost all credibility and have moved to piece of shit category. so I know I can't really deal with you. But yeah, follow their work. I get emails regularly where people say, man, you're the only contractor or builder that have always posted their projects from start to finish. And I was like, well, in that way it's supposed to be. But then I start seeing, other contractors, and it's like they kind of get in. And this is a whole nother subject about contractors. I'm getting ADD.
Go there.
This is
people want to know from a contractor what do they need to look for?
Okay, so I've gone to meetings and I've given my bid, and they say, hey man, your number is too high. First of all, let me clear this up. If you call me and say you're getting bids from several contractors, I politely say, well, go ahead and get it from the other people. I don't get into that pool of contractors, that you're trying to get bids from. Second of all, there's a little hustle that contractors do where they come in low, and this is game. Let me see how many people on here. I want you to take notes, because if you're an investor, you need to pay attention. This is free game I'm about to tell you. And some of these contractors may be looking at my thing, and I'm about to expose you, but this is free game. This is free game. What they will do, they will purposely make their bid small, right? Super small. But then if you look at their draw schedule, or if you look at their fees, they may come in $20,000, $30,000 less than me, right? What they do is, in that first draw, they jack that price up, because guess what? Like what I said earlier, that's why you never see that finished projects, because they don't plan on finishing the project. They want to make their money on that first draw piece, and you figure out the rest. I don't know how many times I've gotten that. Oh, I get calls regularly where people want me to come in and say, hey, can you help me on this project, this contractor build? And then when I look at it, I'm like, come on, dude. Like, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. So investors, be careful of that. Contractors, that's what they do. They'll come in super late to get a deal. At first, they've already made their money. Good luck trying to finish your project, because now you're going to have to shortchange the rest of your project. Whoever that contractor comes behind them, you're going to be cursing and fussing at each other. You're going to think he's the bad guy, but the bad guy's already got away with the bag. He's already made his money. He's gone. So
it goes back to, don't always go with the cheapest bid that you get. So you want to analyze, break down what their bid is telling you, make sure it's detailed, make sure that you see the end project that they've done, even ask them to walk through some of their projects. So if they don't have any, active projects, that can be assigned too.
Yeah.
And
I've done that as well. So I've had investors call, and, first time speaking to them, and I don't believe in all this fluff and shit. Like, I do this. I get straight to the point. Dude, if you want to see any of my projects, let me know what stage you want to see it. I got projects they're laying foundation. I got projects where they're framing, projects where we're doing the rough ends. I got projects in every different stage. So that's hold your hand. So I'll just give you those addresses. And you can go look at all my work. But yeah, I'm that type. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I did this and I did that. You can go to any of my projects or any phase, and you can see the work that has been done. So
awesome. So I know a lot of people are probably watching, because our show title was about how we flipped, or we have done this several times, how you can flip houses for large profits without using any of your cash. So can you kind of talk about that and kind of what formula we use? And
no, I'm gonna talk about the formula, but
the secret sauce. No.
Yeah, I want to tell you. Yeah, I'll let you taste it, but I ain't gonna tell you the secret sauce how we did it. That comes with the price. No, I'm just playing. But so our biggest project that we've done, not using any of our money, I think profits on that was close to $250. Yeah, it's close to $250. There's ways in which you can, I call it creative financing. There's ways that you can do creative financing to not use your money to do projects. She's over here, like, I think she's laughing or something, but there's ways you can do creative financing where you don't use your money, and they don't even really go for your credit score. If the numbers make sense and you have relationships with, we use a lot of private money or hard money. If the numbers make sense, then generally the house is the collateral. So they really don't care what your social is. Hell, they really don't even care where you are, because the house has the collateral. And if it's hard money lender, then again, been it for a while, and I probably shouldn't say that, but they want you to fail anyway. Why?
So they can take your project back.
You found the house, you started on the project, you put some work in, and then they want you to fail. So I mean, they come up on just came up on a free house. So they won't take it. Hard money lenders want you to fail.
So do I need to have money in the bank to do a project, or are you saying that I can just find a good deal and someone's going to give me money, or how does that work?
It all depends. Use your resources. If you have family members that can give you a loan, I'll say a good number, $50,000 cash in the bank that you can play with and not worry about for a year is a great way to start. Again, this goes into creative finance, and there's a lot of resources where you can do or get to do your projects, and use hard money, lenders to your benefit and to your advantage. Now you are going to pay a little interest fee in there, but again, if the numbers are right, you still can walk away with that return.
So basically, I'm going to summarize ways to leverage what you have. So when we say we're not using any of our cash, we aren't. We have cash in the bank. So, when someone looks at what assets we have a great deal on the table. We have money in the bank. If you don't want to use your money for a down payment, like you said, you can get creative. If you have credit cards, if you have someone who can give a personal loan, you want to use your resources so that you're not using all your cash. When you don't use all your cash, that leverages you so that you can do more projects. So it's not that, sometimes we'll do a project and not use our cash. It's not that we don't have the cash, or that we can't use the cash. It's that if you have several deals going on, you want to leverage what you have in the bank. So in order to leverage your cash, there are ways to get creative, get a personal loan for, your down payment, get a hard money lender that's going to finance the project. And so there's ways to kind of be creative where you're not using any of your own cash. That lets you, leverage what you have so that you can have several projects going on. So that's kind of our formula. There's a lot that goes into that. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to us and we can kind of point you in the right direction with, hard money lenders, and other creative ways to get funds. So don't feel like, you have to have 200,000 in the bank if you're doing a project that costs 200,000. Hard money is a great source to use, as well as other things that we, have found in doing our projects. So
yeah, I totally agree. If you have $200,000 in the bank, you can do multiple projects.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
What I feel like my husband is really big on not using your own cash. What are some of the downfalls of using, hard money, not using any of your cash? Like, do you feel like there's any downfalls to it, or do you feel like no one should be using their own cash?
Well, my motto. You shouldn't use your cash. The cash is a carrot for the hard money lender. Use that so they can look at it and get your deal done. But you never really want to use your cash. And so that's kind of how I operate. Or we operate. Yeah. Sorry, I'm snacking on my dessert tonight.
He's just eating. Got his little t-shirt on tonight. It's been a long
day. That's super. So. That nap helped me out a whole lot. And then, so I'm feeling I'm all right. Bones are good. Got an accent. So I never know how I'm going to feel. So right now I'm moving, but I'll probably pay for it a little later. But, yeah. But
yeah, so hard money can be your friend. I know a lot of people are kind of scared of that. What is hard money? But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. I do tell people in general, they want to see about 1/3 of what they're going to lend you. So you have 50,000, potentially they'll lend you 150. So, there's a lot of knowledge we have on it. So if you're interested, if you've never used hard money, definitely reach out to us on that, because it can help leverage what you do have for sure.
And then I got hit with the opportunity to become hard money or get associated with hard money. So I'm the whole snake. I'm the head to the tail. So, so just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm working on some stuff right now. Again, I had an opportunity yesterday where one of my money guys came to me and I said, well, he's been watching me. And it was like, dude, why don't you get into this? So, like, I don't have 100 other things, but again, it's the choo-choo train from the front to the back. I have everything you need. So that is an opportunity that I probably will explore within a week. So just stay tuned. So if you see me over here talking about, oh, now we do hard money, we got short-term rentals, we got investment properties, we're building holistic spas. We used to have Turo with some bullshit. We got rid of that. Made money. It was quick, but we made some money. But like 2 weeks. Right. Yeah. So there's that.
So let's talk a little bit. Our time is going to wrap up in a little bit, but let's talk a little bit about analyzing a deal. So we can kind of talk about how we analyze our deals. And first of all, you want to figure out well, I'll let you explain. Can you kind of explain analyzing a deal from knowing the ARV, what your renovation costs are going to be, our back end numbers and things like that?
Easy.
Or is that too much math for you right now?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit more to that, but yeah, just simply knowing the area that you're gonna buy in. We have access to FMLS. I don't know if that's illegal or not, but we're not using her login.
Not my login.
Yeah. But yeah, just knowing your numbers and being familiar with the area. Generally, like when we get into one little area, we kind of stay there until we kind of wear it out, and then we go somewhere else. So yeah, just knowing your numbers and knowing the area is the best advice.
Knowing what things are selling for. Knowing kind of your competition, so what you need to put into the house. I
don't know my competition. Generally,
know what's out there so that you can put better finishes in it.
So our motto
stand out on the market.
Our motto is we put the money in the remodel and let the house sell it, or the bill and let it sell itself. And I try to teach my clients the same thing. You're going to pay either way. Either you shortchange your project. Have price drop. You can't sell the house what you want to sell for now. You're costs.
Right.
So you're gonna pay either way. So put the money in the remodel and let the house sell itself, or you're just gonna have to long term. You're gonna keep doing price drops, and then of course that don't look good. They're gonna be like, why the hell the house keeps dropping in price? What's wrong with it? It's because you're trying to be slick, and people are smart.
They are. Buyers know, finishes. They know, marble. They know quartz. They know these things. So if you are trying to sell a house at a certain price point, they're going to expect these things. So just because your budget, might have fell off, you have to make sure that you have the right finishes in your properties. Or like you said,
because I see some modern builds and it's just, disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean the finish is just. It's a modern build. When you walk into a modern house, it's supposed to give you a certain type of feel, right? You're supposed to tingle a little bit. Like, wow, I'm in a whole nother state.
You should feel like you're in Miami.
You should feel like you're in Miami. You should feel like you're in Cali. You should feel a certain way in a modern house. I've come across, again, there's some gurus out here that they do little panels and stuff like that. And here we got modern builds sitting for all over the city. But you walk into these modern builds, they're sitting. And there's the reason why, number one, this is just my opinion. A modern build should never have carpet at all.
Well, you think no house should have carpet.
That's true.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. I talk about it?
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, so carpet. So here's my thing, not to offend anyone, right? This is that has carpet lovers. Don't take it personal. When I first got in this industry, I got into a market where rentals was what I came in 2008. So you weren't flipping homes back then. So rental market was really high. So my guys used to get in there and demo these properties. And man, I see so much shit up under these carpet. I mean, it's disgusting, right?
It haunts you at night.
Man, it's filthy. Like, So there's been times where we walked in properties and the properties, they had the carpet clean or whatever. My guys, anyway, they'll pull the carpet up and all the dirt is just sitting at the bottom, all the stains. And I mean, it's nasty. So that's my thing with carpet. So at my home, we have about 5,000 square feet and not one piece of carpet. I'm totally against it. Totally against it. My projects never have carpet. Totally against carpet. Now we can have some rugs. So when that shit dirty, you just toss it in the trash and go to Amazon, however you shop, and get some more carpet sent to your house. Then when that get dirty, you throw that one away. But yeah, so you got to know your product finishes. Oh, we were talking about the modern build. Yep. I've seen some modern builds that have shaker cabinets.
Does it hurt your heart?
Oh man, it's disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. Yeah. I've seen Hampton Bay fixtures. I've seen him, and look, I'm a little I'm obsessed at what I do. Like at night,
he stays up all night.
At night, I'm at night, and I almost feel embarrassed admitting this. At night, I get bored, and so 1 o'clock, I'm logging on at FMLS, and I'm looking at homes. I look at the interiors. I study what I do, and I'm just like, so now you have a home and it's less than 400,000. If you can't sell that bad boy, you need to take it off the market and fix it. It's the reason why you can't sell it, especially if it's a remodel. You need to revisit fixing
what you did wrong.
What you did wrong. You may have put some lip on a pig and trying to sell it, but everybody know. So yeah, so you got to know your finishes. And you know, different type styles calls for different type of finishes. So yeah.
Definitely, and kind of know what price point that you're going to go after when you want to sell it. And
right.
Like he said, he stays up all night, you know, looking at these properties on FMLS, what's sold, what finishes they had in them. So if you're serious about, you know, what you're doing, you want to make sure that you know what's expected at that price point, so that you can make sure I'm going after this ARV, which is the after repair value. So I need to make sure I have these things in it. So if you want that ARV, have those finishes, make sure you're, you know, in the right area. You know, those are all things that are going to kind of go into play to see if a deal works for you. So those are some things that we look at.
And the goal is to sell your property before
for a profit.
Before you're, no, that wasn't the thought I was saying.
Oh.
Yeah. Sell the property before you're done. Especially if it's new construction. That's a whole nother show how you do marketing. But the goal is to always, well, for us, we would like to sell it before we're done. It just makes things a lot easier to do.
Which also kind of goes into my last and final thing that I wanted to talk about, which is, yes, it is our goal to, you know, most of our properties, we do want to sell them, you know, get them under contract before we list them. But actually our new business model, can you kind of talk about our new business model and how we feel about selling properties right now?
Not right now.
Kind of
that's another show.
Another show.
Yeah,
okay.
That's too much. That's
so
too heavy. That's too heavy.
About the master plan.
That's too heavy. No, y'all ain't ready for that. And when we discuss certain things, it's because we have tried it. We've worked out all the kinks. And yeah, we're ready to talk about it. So yeah. So for instance, our Airbnb, like we kind of experimented with that. Made 1,000. So that's great. So then we're to the point where when people ask how we did it and stuff like that, we unleashed it. So you can try it out. But we do have another model. And it's just one. So the thing about reading it, you can listen in different ways. So more than one model. So that particular model, we're kind of holding off on that one right now. Oops, seems like one of these streams have connection issues. Oh, there it is.
That's okay. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up the show. We do have some questions, so wanted to kind of cover those. We had someone in our stream. Let's see, Lisa said she's thinking about purchasing a duplex. Is that hard to find in a good area in Atlanta?
Oh man, why is it blurry?
Okay. Do you want to answer, Lisa?
I'm not a realtor by far. There probably are some duplexes out there. Where they're located, I'm not sure, but if they are, they're probably not going to last. for so many different reasons. So if someone bring you an opportunity to buy a duplex, you better jump on it quick. Jump on it real quick because it's not gonna last.
Awesome. Let's see. We had another question. It is from a Carol, and she says, right now she's doing a project and she has a contractor that she's been using, but it just seems like their work isn't up to par. What is something that she can do kind of to get out of it, or what should she do at that point?
Let them work to the next draw. Let them finish the first draw, like I talked about earlier. But come to that point, that's still kind of tough because generally that first draw, depending on how you have it structured, more than likely it's going to involve your medicals. So if you get rid of that GC that's over that project at that point in time, not only are you getting rid of him, you're getting rid of his team, which means that whoever you hire next, you have to hire people to come in and finish those final mechanicals. So what you can do if you're okay with those guys, I would never advise. No, I'm not even gonna say it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, go on and try to get out where you can. Get out where you can. There's another way you can do that, but yeah, I'm not gonna advise that.
Okay.
So.
And then we have another question from a Danny, and it says, what is the typical time range for a project from initial investment until final profit?
Man, that's, I mean, it all depends. It all depends, especially now. Speaking of City of Atlanta, it's taking, she's like 2 to 4 months to get her permits, depending on the scope of work. So it just all depends. They're pretty much doing things kind of on a virtual base within inspections. I mean, not inspection, but the permitting process. So it all depends. So I would say give yourself anywhere from 8 months to 8 to 12 months to probably sell a project. Hopefully, if everything goes the way it should, but I would say 8 to 12 months.
8 to 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I think I covered the questions I could find. I don't know if you have any others. And if you're watching and you have a question, feel free to ask it. But definitely appreciate you, Mr. Crawford, for everything you do. Is there anything else that you want to tell the people?
Nope. Good night.
You said it all.
Nice.
Well, definitely, if you watch this live or if you watch it later on, if you come up with any questions you want to ask a contractor, you can reach out to us. You can go to the crawfordconnect.com. It has all of our links on there. You can also go directly to Mr. Crawford's website, yourcontractorwarehouse.com, and it has all his contact information on there. Many of you do know him already, so you can hit him up on Facebook. You can direct message either of us and we can kind of guide you in the right direction. But we definitely appreciate you guys for watching. It's been fun. I hope you guys learned a little bit. Hopefully it opened up some conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it because our is not enough to now feel like you're super equipped to go out and buy a property or to know what you're looking for. Maybe even next week I'll probably come up with just getting out of the car and saying, okay, this is what you're looking for from step one. So maybe we'll cover that next week. That's a show within itself. And maybe it'll save you the headache later down the road. But again, step number one is really trying to make sure your numbers work.
Yep.
All deals are not good deals. And most of the deals that I see are BS, like 98%, only because of the market, the way the market is right now.
And you definitely have to be careful with people marking things up so high where it's basically impossible for you to have a successful property or project, sorry.
Yeah.
So awesome. Again, if you guys think of any other questions, if there's something you want us to kind of dig deeper into, feel free to send us a message. Our next show can be about that. So don't be afraid to ask any questions. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. We are going to have an exciting night. What are we doing? Going to bed. Going to bed. Going to bed.
Nah, All-Stars weekend. So
we're staying away from the city.
Yeah.
But if you are
I'm not. I'll be down there tomorrow. I have meetings downtown.
During the day.
Yeah, I try to schedule it before for one. So we'll see. I know my Buckhead project. I'm just gonna have to tell my guys FaceTime me. Let me see what you got going on because
Crazy.
I'm not going. I have a project right there on Linux, and I'm not even going. I don't even want to go over there. Yeah, cancel that.
Yeah, definitely be careful this weekend if you're in Atlanta. If you're not, stay safe. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you have a good night.
Adios.
Adios, adios, adios.